Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am going to do another video, 2 in a week. I am absolutely churning these out and I still haven't improved my recording quality or my microphone or any of my visuals, but what's important is these guides show you how to do reasonable lap times at tracks, and the idea of this is that these are achievable lap times for the average player. If you're a good player and you want to get to I'm going to say if you're good and you want to go to great, I don't want to describe myself as great, then this is the guide for you, because a lot of the other guides out there are done by the elite players and you can listen to their advice but you'll never be able to replicate it. So I'm going to share some tips and tricks on how to get quicker at Le Mans. This video is specific to this car, which is the Porsche Le Mans car, the 919. There is a strategy for this using a classic Le Mans car, which is the Mazda 787B. It's a completely different car to drive, generates the same lap time, but this guide is really only if you're using the Porsche. And it is on medium tyres, which are the only ones you can use. So I'm going to switch over the view to the one that I think shows the most. And we're going to go through the lap, and I'm going to show you how to get into the 317s. By the way, this is definitely not my optimum time. I can get down, I think, to a 3:17.6 if I was to keep doing some laps. So the start of the lap is really important, and I'm not going to get much further than that, because you really want to make sure that you're smooth coming out of that final turn. What you want to aim for is, let's see if I can back this up. I think I have to back it up all the way to here. I'll show you what to aim for to get a good start to the lap. So what you want to do is try and take a nibble out of that curb on the left, but don't go fully over it because you'll bounce the car. And then you want to also aim to take another nibble out of this curb, and again, if you take too much of the red part, don't go too much onto that sausage curb because it's going to bounce you out wide. And this is the point where you want to be accelerating right here on the exit. Accelerate from here like that, straight line over the line. You can gain maybe a tenth of a second by doing that. So we're going to come around turn 1, and the next thing that you'll notice is that I'm keeping to the right. You don't need to take the racing line through this corner. Stick to the far right, make the track as short as possible. It'll gain you about a tenth of a second. And then the next thing is we are going to be braking at this total board here, the first one on the right down by the ground. Okay, brake in a straight line and bleed the brakes off as you turn into the first apex. Very important. Don't keep braking all the way to the apex. You just want to ease those brakes off nice and smoothly, and you're aiming to take a nibble out of that inside apex like so. So you see here, I'm just about keeping all 4 wheels on the track as close to the limit as you dare. The further to the left you are here, the more speed you can take into the next corner basically. And then you can see here I'm trying to aim for those yellow bouncy things, but don't hit them, just aim to graze them and onto the power as soon as you can. Don't really use that rumble strip on the outside, it's too bouncy, it'll upset the car. Next bit's nice and flat, and now this corner is very difficult to judge, but you want to brake and turn in where that little path is. So you see here, I'm on this path, and look at my markers. I'm turning in now, and I'm just dabbing the brake down 1 gear. So it's literally just stab to the brake and down a gear, and then accelerate. Next corner, flat out in this car. Don't go too far to the right, otherwise you'll get a penalty. But you just want to sweep across and just try and maintain forward speed as much as you can. I actually went a little bit wide on the exit there for no reason. Got a nice long straight now, time to go make a cup of tea and some small talk. This car's not very fast down the straights. If you was driving the Mazda, you would be doing 220 miles an hour by now, but that car can't corner. So we get down here, you see the 200 board, you see this 100 board, and this is the one that you're aiming for, is basically how you know it's the 100 board at that speed, because bear in mind you're going 186 miles an hour. How can you read that? That says 100. It's the one with the orange marshals behind it. And brake on it, because people try to brake as late as they can into the chicane, and that's a mistake. Right, the later you brake into the chicane, the deeper you're going to run into it, and the more steering lock you're going to have to put on to make the left-hand corner. So what you want to be doing is keeping your car as far to the right as possible for as long as possible. And that's what I'm doing here. So you see here, the car is as far over to the right as I can possibly go. I'm on that curb, can't go any further to the right. And now I'm sweeping in. I'm still actually braking at this stage, because I felt like I didn't have enough front end to get around this this corner. And then I'm onto the rumble strip and full power. And the key to the lap time is get on full power as soon as you can. And I'm pretty sure that is where I'm losing time compared to the elite players. We've got another long straight. Time to go get your second coffee of the day. Again, we've not got a huge amount of speed down here, but this car really makes up for it in the corners. Just keep the steering as straight as possible, and your next braking marker is again 100 meters, and it's this little sign. And again, you're kind of doing the same thing. You want to keep as far to that left side as possible, down into fourth gear. And this is where I make a slight mistake, because look where the car's pointing right now. Do you think that car is pointing at the apex? No, it's not. So I'm now going to have to just ease off just to get it round, or I'm going to run a little bit wide into the exit of the corner. So really what you want to be doing there is, you know, make sure that you can get the car turned across the apex. And again, the sooner you pick up the power, the faster you'll be. Next corner coming up is challenging to spot your braking, I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to again tell you my tip for this corner, my way of taking this. Again, I don't know if this is right or not, but it seems to work. So don't try and cut onto this apex down here, because it's not really saving you any time, and it's just putting the car in the wrong position to turn in for this tight right-hander at the end. So what you want to do is keep out to the right, and I've actually made a bit of a mistake in the edit of the video here. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to go back and play these 10 seconds again, because I've missed my pause point, and I'm only doing this in one take. I will make my videos more professional going forwards. So basically, my braking marker for this is that second cone there. Now that sounds flaky as, but another way of saying that is basically go around that first little kink, go and in your head, just go kink and brake. Like just count, like you're counting music, like you're timing music in your head. Just say turn and brake, and that's it. That's all it is, just that gasp of air and you're braking. Alternatively, do it more professionally and use that marker there. And again, keep it in a straight line, and what you want to then just do is judge when you turn in so that you just kiss that apex. I've maybe turned in a little bit too late there, and you see now that this actually cost me a bit of time on the exit, but it wasn't a bad exit. And this is the last of the long straights. Nothing to say here, just, you know, keep going along. But there's a very important corner at the end of it. It's a very easy corner in this car, but you'll see. So we come down to a corner called Indianapolis, and in this car, absolutely flat out, just nothing to do, just turn across it and stay to the right once you're over. But then what you're doing now is where that path starts, brake down to fourth gear and turn smoothly across and kiss that apex. And you see now I'm not even round the corner and I'm already on the power. Next corner, this is a real pain to work out your braking. For some reason I think that you can brake at that second Gantt sign, but you can't. So I was kind of braking halfway between them. I don't really have a braking point to offer you here, but I would say just, again, go past that first Gant sign, go and then brake. And as you can see, I'm now following the brakes at the second Gant sign. Turn in, and the key to this corner is hug that apex and full power as soon as you can. And now for the bravery test, although it's not really a bravery test. Fastest corners on the track, the Porsche curves, and you want to be full throttle through these. But I will share a trick with you. As soon as you notice the revs start to drop, shift it down into 6th gear if you've got a manual gearbox, because the engine's got more torque on the red line, and it will allow you to maintain speed as you take the corners. You see there, we're maintaining 181 miles an hour around there. If we was taking it in 7th gear, then we'd be struggling to maintain, say, 176, 177. So it's a couple of extra miles an hour. And again, flat out, just spot your apex, nothing too difficult. End of the lap now, and very easy to bin it here. So I'm basically braking as I pass the pit entry there. So as the painted line begins, and I'm just trying to get the car as far over those curves as possible. You're not going to get a penalty for running over those, but you want to keep the car slightly to the right and aim to run over those little rumbles there, and on the power as soon as you can, and over the line. And there you go, that is my 317.9. Because this is a long track and a long video, I'm not going to do a second view for this one, or, you know, like a different camera angle. But feel free to go through the lap again and watch what I've done. Hope it helps. And if not, at least I've shown off that I'm not a bad driver. At the time of recording, this lap is in the top 500, although it does look like that's going to change by the end of the week. So good luck, and I hope to see some good lap times from my rivals and my competitors, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.